This is Sakar Murli of 1st of August 2025. Morning Murli Bab Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, the Father only loves you children. It is to reform you children alone that the Father gives you Shrimad. Constantly follow the God's directions and make yourselves pure. Question. When and with which methods will peace be established in the world? Answer. You know that only after the Mahabharat war will there be a peace in the world, but you have to prepare yourselves for that beforehand. Make effort to make your stage karmatit. Churn this knowledge of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world and become completely pure. By having remembrance of the Father, only then will this world be transformed. Song. Human beings of the 2 days are in darkness. Om Shanti. This song is a song on the path of devotion. They sing that they are in the darkness and ask to be given a third eye of knowledge. They ask for knowledge from the ocean of the knowledge. Otherwise, there is ignorance. It is sad in the Iron Age. Everyone is Kumbhakarna, sleeping in the sleeping of the ignorance. The Father says this knowledge is very simple. They study so many Vedas and scriptures, etc. On the path of devotions, they do Hatha yoga and adopt gurus, etc. All of those gurus now have to be renounced because there can be never teach Raj Yoga. Only the Father gives you that kingdom. Human beings cannot give it. Human beings, however, it is of this that the sannyas said that the happiness is like the dropping of the crow, which is why they run away from their homes and families. No one but the Father, the ocean of the knowledge, can give this knowledge. Only God can teach this Raj Yoga. Human beings cannot purify human beings. Only the Father is the purifier. Human beings have become so trapped on the path of devotion. They have been doing devotions for birth after birth. They go to the bath in the water. It isn't that they only go to the bath in Ganges. Wherever they see the lake, they consider that to be a purifier. There is a Gaumukh here too. Where water comes from a spring, there is a water in well too. But that cannot be called the purifies Ganges. Human beings think that too is pilgrimage place. Many people go to the bath there with a lot of faith. You children have now received this knowledge. Even when you will tell them, they don't believe you. They have a lot of arrogance of the body and say, we have studied so many scriptures. The Father says, forget everything you have studied. How can human beings know anything about any of these things? This is why Baba says write down such points in the leaflets and drop them from an aeroplane. Nowadays they all ask how can there be peace in the world. When someone gives the advice about this, he receives a prize but he cannot establish peace. Where is a peace? They continue to give prize fastly. You now understand that there will be a peace in the world after the war. This war can take place at any time because such preparations have been made. The delay is until you children reach your karmatit stage. It is this that requires effort. The Father says constantly remember me alone and while living at home. With your families become as pure as a lotus and continue to churn this knowledge of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. You can also write, according to the drama plan, peace in the world will be established as it was in a previous cycle. You can even explain that only in the golden age can there be a peace in the world. Here there is a definitely peacelessness. However, there are some who wouldn't believe what you tell them because they are not going to go to heaven. They wouldn't even follow Shrimad. There are many here who are unable to remain pure. According to the Shrimad, you are receiving directions from God, the highest on high. When someone's behavior isn't good, others tell them, may God give you the great wisdom. You now have to follow God's directions. The Father says you have been floundering an ocean of the poisons for 63 birds. The Father only speaks to you children. The Father only reform his own children. How could he reform the whole world by himself? He says to the people outside, learn everything from my children. The Father cannot narrate this to the people outside. The Father has great love for his own children. He doesn't have a much love for the stepchildren. A physical father gives a wealth to his worthy children. Not all his children would be the same. The Father should say, I give this inheritance to those who belong to me. Those who don't belong to me will not able to digest it. They will not able to follow Srimad. They are devotees. Baba has seen many such people where no sannyas come, they bring many followers. They collect funds. Each one gives a fund according to his capacity. Here the Father doesn't tell you to collect fund. No, here whatever seeds you sow, you receive the fruit of that for 21 births. When a people make a donations, they believe that they are doing it in the name of God. They either surrender that to the God or to Shri Krishna. Why do they mention the name of Shri Krishna? Because they consider him to be the God of the Gita. They never said that they are surrendering everything to Shri Radhe. They either said that they are surrendering it to the God or Shri Krishna. They know that it is the God who will give the fruit of that. When a child is born into a wealthy family, it is said that that child must have given a lot of donations in his previous birth. For that, it is why he has taken birth there. He can even become a king. However, that happiness is as temporary as the dropping of crow. Sannyasis inspire kings to have renunciations by telling them that a woman is like a snake. However, Draupadi called out to be protected from Dushahan. Even innocent mothers call out for their honor to be protected. Baba, he beats me a great deal. They are even ready to kill for the sake of poisons. Baba, liberate me from this bondage. Father says bondage is to come to an end, and then no one shall be stripped for 21 births. There is no voice there. This is the final birth in this land of death. This is a vicious world. The second thing that the Father explains is human beings have become so senseless at this time. When someone dies, people said that he has gone to heaven. But where is heaven? This is hell. If he become a resident of heaven, he must definitely have been a resident of hell. However, when you tell someone directly that he is a resident of hell, he becomes angry and get upset. Write to such a people, so and so become a residents of heaven, which mustn't mean that you are residents of hell. We can now show you the method which you truly go to heaven. This old world is now to be destroyed. Have it printed in the papers that there will be a peace in the world after the war, exactly as there was 5,000 years ago. There was only one original internal deity's region there. Those people said that devils such as Kans, Jarasandha, etc. also exist there, that Ravan exists in the Silver Age. Who would beat their heads with such people? There is a difference of the day and night between this knowledge and that devotion. This is such a simple thing, and yet it hardly sits in anyone's intellect. So, create such a slogan. According to the drama, there will be a peace in the world after this war. Every cycle's peace comes to the world, and then by end of the Iron Age, there is a peacelessness. Only in the Golden Age there is a peace. You can even write that it is only because of the mistake made in the Gita that Bharat has now reached in this condition. The mistake was that they insert the name of Shri Krishna, who takes the full 84 births. They doesn't insert the name of Shri Narayan. He has a few days less than the full of 84 births. Shri Krishna takes the full 84 births. Shiv Baba comes to make the children become like a diamonds. Therefore, there has to be a golden container into which the fathers can come. How can this one become a golden? This is why Baba instantly gave him visions. He said, "You are to become a master of the world. Now constantly remember me alone and become a pure." So he immediately began to become pure. Unless one becomes a pure, one cannot imbibe this knowledge. A golden vessel is required to hold the milk of the loins. This is the knowledge of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. One needs a golden vessel to imbibe this knowledge. Only when you become a pure can dharana takes place. When someone makes a promise to maintain purity and then falls, the pilgrimage of the yoga ends. Even this knowledge ends that one cannot they say to anyone. God says lust is the greatest enemy. The arrow he shoots would not strike the target. Such ones become like crocodiles who can only grow this knowledge. They do not practice what they preach. No voice should remain. Keep your daily chart. Just as the Father is the Almighty Authority, so Maya is also an Almighty Authority. Ravan's kingdom continue for a half of cycle. No one but the fathers can enable you to conquer Ravan. According to the drama, there has to be Ravan's kingdom. This drama is based on the victory and defeat of the Bharat. Father only explains this to you children. The principal thing is for you to become a pure. The Father says, "I come to purify the impure." People have portrayed a battle between the Pandavas and the Kauravas and have also shown them gambling, etc. How could such things exist there? Could that be a study of the Raj Yoga? Would there be a Gita Pathshala on a battlefield? On the one hand, there is a shivbaba who is beloved birth and the death, and on the other hand there is a Shri Krishna who takes the full 84 births. The Father comes and enters him in his final birth. This is very clear. While living at home with your families, you have to become a pure. Sannyasi said that a couple living together cannot remain pure. Tell the sannyas that it is because they don't have any attachments, that they're unable to stay together. However, here we receive the sovereignty of the world. The Father says, "Preserve the honor of the clean of my sake." Shiv Baba says, "Preserve the honors of this one's breed. Remain pure in this final birth and you will become the master of the heaven." Each of you has to make effort for yourselves. No one else can go to heaven. Your kingdom is established. There are all types of people there, but there are no advisors there. Kings there don't need advice. Impure kings have to have advisor. Here there are so many ministers. They continue to fight among themselves. The Father liberates you from all complications. There will be then no war for 3000 years. No of the jails will remain. There wouldn't be any court, etc. There is a happiness and only happiness. You have to make effort for that. Death is just ahead of you. Become conquerors of the sinful acts by having the pilgrimage of the remembrance. You are the messengers who have to give everyone to the Father's message of the Man Mana Bhavo. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the Mother, the Father, the Bapdada, the spiritual Father says, "Namaste to you, spiritual children." The spiritual children say, "Namaste to the spiritual Father." Essence for Dharana. In order to imbibe this knowledge, become a pure and clean the vessels of your intellects. Don't become a crocodile Jnani who can only grow this knowledge, not practice what he preaches. 2. Surrender everything you have directly to the Father, follow Shrimad and claim royal status for 21 births. Blessings, may you become extremely wealthy and sensible by using every power, and so increase them. Sensible children know the way to use every power. To the extent that you use the powers, to the extent those powers increase. So make such a spiritual budget that every soul receives something or other from you. And since your phrase, you definitely have to give them something or other. Whether you give them liberations or liberations in life, make a spiritual budget. Accumulate all the spiritual powers and use those powers. Liberate all the souls from the beginning, beggars from the sorrow and peacelessness. Slogan: make pure thoughts into invaluable treasures in your life, and you will become full of all treasures. Avyakt signal: in order to be an easy yogi, be experienced in a God's love. Be experienced in God's love. With this experience, you will become an easy yogi and continue to fly. God's love is the means with which to keep flying. Those who fly cannot be pulled by the earth, no matter how attractive Maya from the may be. That attractions cannot reach those who are in the flying stage. Invaluable versions of Mata Ishwarji do not now have accomplishments in a performing sinful acts. First of all, you definitely have to keep the aim that no matter how you have to control the voices, for only then will you be able to stay in a godly happiness and peace. Our main effort is for us to remain peaceful ourselves and to give peace to others, and we definitely need the powers of tolerance for this. Everything depends on us. Let it not be that when someone says something you become peaceless. No. The first virtue of this knowledge to imbibe is tolerance. Look on the path of ignorance. It is sad. No matter how much someone insults you, just think it wasn't hurt by that. The person who insults you become a peaceless himself, but his karmic accounts are his own. However, if I too become a peaceless and say something, then that would be my sinful act. Therefore, I mustn't have any completions in a committed sin. We have to burn away our sins, not create more. We have been committed such a sins for a birth after birth and have been taking sorrow. We have not received this knowledge in order to conquer those five vices. There are huge expansions of the vice, and they come in the very stubble way. Sometimes there is a jealousy, and so you think, this one did this, so why should I not do the same? This is a big mistake. You have to make yourselves free from making mistakes. If someone says something, then consider that to be test for you to see what extent you have to power of the tolerance. If you say I have to tolerate a lot, but then become a forceful, even once you have ultimated failed. Whoever said something, he spot his own account, but I have to make my account good, not spoil it. Therefore, let me make good efforts and create a good rewards for myself for birth after birth. Those who are under the influence of the voice have those evil spirits in them, and the language that emerges from the evil spirit is likewise. However, the language that emerges from those who are divine souls is divine. So I have to make myself divine, not selfish. Acha, Om Shanti.